Hello, welcome into another Whispering Hope Ranch tune-up training video. I didn't get a chance to post up yesterday. That would have been Monday. We had a big weekend here at the ranch. We had 17 kids and well, putting it bluntly, the ranch was kind of a mess. So I needed a reset day. If you notice at all behind me, all the nice perfect lines in the arena. And then on top of our busy Saturday, I had freezing rain again. So I had to bring in the horses from outside, a few of them. And so that obviously made more mess in the arena. And so anyway, all that to say, we're back at it. I'm excited to be here. I have with me today, this is Beau. He's really pushy. He has had probably the least amount of training time here at the ranch. The most I've done with Beau is we went on a South Branch rollaway off-site trip, and just to try to burn some energy down on him, and 5.5 hours later he was still going strong. So because I haven't had much time with Beau, we are gonna spend some time doing some groundwork and see where we're at, see what we get. I have learned my lesson from the past videos. I'm not gonna say he probably won't do this or that, and I'm not gonna say, oh, I don't need spurs. This time around, as I'm learning, the video is unforgiving, and there's proof of everything that I say. So anyway, I have my spurs on. I don't know what to expect. I really hope he doesn't buck, but he's very new to this environment inside the arena. I don't think he's really done much arena work. Beau's age, I think he's 19. He could be 20. Not sure. He was 19 when we got him. Could have been a couple years ago. I lose track of time so fast. You guys all know this. So I hope everybody's doing good today. The sun is shining. It's a nice day outside, and so we're gonna get to work here on Beau. So Beau's dealing with a couple of problems, and we're gonna try to kind of conquer both of them, not in one session, but certainly we're gonna try to work on both of them at the same time because they are connected. And so one of the things is he's nervous. This is a newer environment for Beau, and so he's got to get acclimated to this space. Got my trusty scary stick with me, and I have done this exercise with Beau before. So this isn't the first time he's seen my scary stick. Now ideally, what I'm hoping to accomplish here is for him to maybe show me a little something of where he's at. If he throws a buck or something right here while I'm doing this little round penning session here, and I'm not going to spend a tremendous amount of time doing this. I just want Beau to get his feet moving a little bit, get a little breathe, like smell this air, understand a little bit about what this space is. Maybe walk past some of the mirrors. He's also been in here during some of our freezing rain times, so he's not totally like brand new, but this is probably pretty darn close to his first, maybe his second time of actually having to behave like a horse in this space. Whoa. I'm applying pressure to his face. Now I'm not using a training halter. The halter that you should be using if you're gonna do like exclusively this type of work would be a rope halter. So he pushed in on me a few steps, which I'm not okay with. He just has his normal halter on, which I can apply enough pressure to him with this halter right here because he's seen this exercise before to get some things figured out. Now, what I'm doing with Beau is I don't care how fast he goes necessarily. I'm not asking him to go fast. I just want him to keep moving. If he walks or if he trots, that's up to him at this point. But what he cannot do, the things where I draw the line in the sand, is he cannot stop without being asked to stop, which he just did right there. And he cannot invade my space. He cannot be a space invader. See, he's licking with his lips. I know it's hard to see that because the camera's trying to focus on me and not him. But see, he tried to slow down there and I had to keep him moving. So what this does is it helps Beau focus on me before I get in the saddle. I want Beau's attention to be for me only. Whoa. And I'm just giving some pressure with the lead line. I'm also reinforcing the go cue. So Beau's problems. One of them's nervousness in this space, and the other one is he's just got a lot of go, and he tends to be a little pushy. I mean, when I was saddling him up, and I'm very excited to bring that footage to you all, because I think you're going to really enjoy watching the saddle up process. And just so you guys know, I don't like pre-work these horses before I record these videos. The only handling these guys get is me putting the saddle on, and that does require me to groom them and handle them, but I'm not like spending any training time. So this is it's a raw deal. I mean, you're getting the first-hand thing that's happening. Whoa. So when I stop him, I want 2 eyes looking at me. That's good. Preferably if he chewed with his mouth and moved his lips a little bit, which he's doing, that would be great too. And then I'm going to walk up and give him some pets here. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Beau is a Tennessee Walker. I can't remember if I said that or not. He's very pretty. He's a nice boy. I think he's going to turn out nice. He just needs a little refining. Whoa. We're going to go a few more laps here, and then we're going to get on and see what happens. He's doing this part really well. I've had horses that they do this part really well, and then you get on the saddle, and it's like a reset button got pushed. They're like, huh? What do you want me to do? So we'll see what Beau does. So I have rode Beau a lot, just not in this arena. Like I said earlier, we went to a off-site shore-to-shore trail. Michigan has a shore-to-shore trail ride. It spans from Lake Michigan to Lake Huron. Now, we didn't do the whole ride because that's pretty crazy. We did about 5.5 hours of it. Rode out 2.5 hours or so, and then flipped around and rode back, me and a handful of other people from here at the ranch. It's a great proving ground, whoa, to give your horse some new environments because you can walk them in the water. That was pretty good. There's lots of woods, a lot of hilly terrain. It's just really good. It's good to give your horse some variety. If they get locked in, and this has happened with people before too. I've had people come and they say, oh, I'm really experienced because they show. Now, I have nothing against showing horses, so don't flame me in the comments. But this person had never ever been in the woods, and so they said they were experienced and knew how to ride, which they were in their respective discipline of showing. So we hit that first hill, and this person started bawling their eyes out. They were so scared because they had never been in the woods before. And this is kind of similar to horses. You know, if they never get exposed to the woods, or if they only get exposed to one thing, then they kind of fall apart when they get new things. So it's really healthy for horses to get exposed multiple things, helps them be well-rounded. Woo. Helps them get over some stuff. It's really good for them. So I'm asking for the one way, and he chose to go the other way. There we go. Now we got him moving. Woo. I don't have my camera girl with me today, Violet, so we're just doing one camera today. So I'm going to drop my scary stick here in the ground, and then we're going to come up, check my cinch here, and see how he does. Looking pretty good. I'm going to go drop my lead line. Yes. Okay. Come on, Big Beau. He's not a super tall horse, but he carries himself very big. He's always very animated, you know, a lot of head raised high. So we're just gonna dance here until Beau's done dancing. All right, we made it in the saddle. Now we're moving. So I'm doing nose to my knee already because he's acting a little jittery. Not sure what to expect. What I don't want to do is have this discussion with him down by that hay wagon, if you can see it at the end. So we're just going to do some circles around my scary stick. See what happens. Try to lock in. So far we're in good shape, even though he's being very excited right now. we're moving. And if you remember my freedom video from a few days ago, when they stop moving is when it's not good. So if we can continue moving forward here and even doing some turning, then we're in good shape. I'm fine with that. Totally fine if we can just get some movement going. He's locomotiving, is what I'll call it. You know, with his being huffy puffiness. And again, this is not Beau being necessarily bad. Not 100% of it anyway. This is a lot of Beau, this is new territory for him. So we're gonna give him some space. You know, we're not gonna be disciplining or anything like that because a horse is nervous. You gotta cut a horse some slack and let it have some space to understand what's going on in the room, what you're asking of it. And so we're just gonna move around and keep turning and steering until Beau's ready to decide to calm down a little bit. I also am very, I very much hope that if anybody watches these videos and they actively participate here at the ranch, that they're not like, oh no, I don't ever want to ride Beau, or I don't ever want to ride Freedom or Peanut or any of these that I'm working out, because they are going to turn out to be really nice horses. This is why I'm riding them. You just get the benefit of going on the journey with me. So toward the back side of this arena where the entry exit door is, the big brown door, Beau seems to really, that's where he's really kind of getting angsty. And so I'll say that area of the arena is Beau being naughty. And then everything else is mostly just Beau being, see right here, he's fighting me, so I'm gonna pull him. The rest of it is probably just Beau being nervous. So the reason why we're tackling these at the same time is because Beau is dealing with them at the same time. Okay, Beau's not able to compartmentalize his brain to be, okay, I'm nervous only, and then that completely shuts off his naughty natures. So because he's doing both at once, we're gonna handle both at once. As he gives it to us, we're gonna deal with it. So I'm doing one of my exercises where I zigzag back and forth between these letters, giving Beau a job to do. And thus far, since I've been on him, we have not asked him to walk fast or do anything. All I did was get on, and then he just decided to go. And so right now, I'm not concerned about his pace or him walking slow or nice. Today's goal is to get him comfortable, more comfortable in this space, and to get him understanding that he has a job to do, and no matter what he huffs and puffs, he's gonna still have to do the job. So that's today's goal, and like I've said in previous videos, you accomplish these things over time. Have to be patient, repetition, consistency, and then that's what makes a horse a good horse. I will say he's pretty soft in the mouth, which is nice. In case anyone's wondering, I'm using a snaffle bit, which is just about as mild as you can possibly get as a bit. It does have a shank on it though, so on each side it's got like a bar, so that if I have to pull really hard on one side or the other, it won't pull the bit all the way through his mouth. Kind of locks against his lips. So that's the bridle I'm using, the bit I should say. Also, I forgot to mention, Beau has not been ridden since last fall. Last fall on that shore to shore section we went on was the last time we rode Beau, and that was it all winter long. Whoops, I accidentally made the noise and he just thought that meant go. So Beau is sensitive to the go cue, and we'll help him with that. We'll get him desensitized a little bit. You don't want him so desensitized that he doesn't move like Peanut or maybe Freedom, but you want them to have respect for it, but not decide they're gonna take off at a canter because they heard one little twitch of noise. So in some previous videos, it seems like it goes good until we reach kind of a break point with the horse and then the horse decides to do something drastic. And that happened with Peanut, and that also happened with Freedom. And so you do have to ride them to a certain point where they kind of get past their issue they're thinking of. See, I'm going to ride down here on purpose towards this brown door here. Yep, and he's trying to go toward the brown door because he knows that means exit. Good boy. Yeah, he's checking himself out in the mirror. So we're just going to try to ride around in this space a little bit. Let him get a feel for it down here by the mirrors. We have a work party coming up this Saturday, and one of the jobs is painting this hay wagon behind me. And so I brought it in so it would stay dry, so it was ready to paint. That's why it's hanging out in here with me. Typically, I would not be working horses with items in here because things can happen. So Beau's doing pretty good though. He is so huffy puffy right now. So again, I'm not asking him to go fast. He's just kind of setting his own pace right now, which is fine with me. We'll get him into a good work. I don't know if the camera's showing it, but he's already sweating really good. He's got himself worked into a good lather already. That time I asked him to go. I'm kind of hanging out by this brown door and these mirrors on purpose because this was kind of his button that he didn't like. And when we entered and exited, he had a huge hissy fit over that door opening and shutting. So that was a new sensation to him as well. Just the noise of a garage door and that it's above his head was a little bit sketchy to Beau here. So of course, since I found a button, I had to keep pushing the button until we had some progress. And so I had to open and shut the door, I don't know, about 10 or 15 times. And Beau was doing the dancey feet, dancing all around. So I'm working my way through a list of horses. So eventually you guys are going to see Tucker and Freedom and Peanut and Luna. You know, you're going to see them again because I'm going to keep working them into a rotation. I am probably 2/3 through my first string. You know, my first time of riding, touching these horses that need it. I've got about 3, I think, or 4 more to go before we're back to the top of the list. And they all vary. Some of them just need, like Luna and Rusty and Boone. Those horses are just going to need tune-up rides. Beau and Freedom need training. In addition to, like, it's just a little bit more than tune-up. You know, obviously I'm riding Beau, so he's rideable, quotation mark. But again, you know, we work with mostly kids, public, first-time riders a lot, so you know, there's no way I'm putting Beau or Freedom, giving a new rider those horses until they've gotten to some serious progress, because it's just unsafe. So that's why we're riding them out. Now Luna and Rusty, Tucker, we used Tucker this Saturday with some kids, and he did pretty good. He's got some room to go, but so those horses are kind of farther ahead than Beau and Freedom. And then I'll have my horse out here too. Technically Tucker's my horse, but he's mostly just used for the programming here at the ranch. And then my own personal horse, who's Boone, he'll be out because he needs more help also. And you'll see why when it's his turn to be in front of the camera. So what I'd love to know is why Beau is so huffy and angst up, ready to go. I have some theories. Of course, one of them is because he's nervous, like I said earlier. Some horses just have a lot of go. I don't think he's stopped trotting since we've been in here. Of course, I haven't tried to make him stop trotting because I kind of want him to work it out. And I guess here's the thing. Sometimes horses, when they're in the state Beau is in, I need them to keep trotting until they realize that they don't have to trot. Now, here's why, is because if I try to make him slow down right now at the state he's in, some nervousness, some a little bit stinkerness, if that's just gonna make me have to be in his mouth a lot. I'm gonna be pulling on these reins nonstop. And then I'm not gonna be really communicating good things to Beau to do that, because we're not to that stage yet in his progress where I need to focus on his pace slowing down. And the thing is what I'm doing right now, if Beau can figure that out on his own, then his pace is gonna slow down. With me and Beau will be on the same team with his pace versus me just riding his mouth constantly with the reins to get him to slow down. If I can get Beau to recognize and realize, hey, I can calm down. I don't have to go fast. If I just let him keep going, he's gonna eventually realize, you know what? Nobody's making me go fast. Why am I going fast? So this is, I found this to be a much better solution for horses that walk super duper fast and have a really fast pace. I don't presume to know exactly precisely why horses want to go faster than other horses. Some of them just have a lot more go. And so I need Beau to partner with me instead of me just saying, here's pressure and you're gonna do it because I said so. That never goes well for me in my horse experience. If I can get Beau to lock in with me and partner with me, now I've got it. Now he understands it for future. It's not just because I said so and that momentary amount of pressure that's being applied to him. So that's what I'm hoping for. Sometimes things shift and move as I get on the horse and I start walking and working them around. And so today's goal with Beau is for him to get comfortable in this space, or more comfortable. And now my goal is for him to figure out this speed thing on his own. If I can get him to walk around without me applying a ton of mouth pressure to him, then that's going to be a huge step forward for Beau's progress. The other thing that if you're in a horse's mouth a lot, it's gonna numb their mouth. Eventually, they're just gonna get used to that amount of pressure. And then you always have to have that amount of pressure from there forward to do something with the horse. Whether that's steering or stopping or getting them to back up. And so it's just so counterproductive. Like you have to have that mindset of you need to partner with your horse versus muscling your horse to do something. I promise you, if you're a muscler, if you're watching this video and you've been rough-shodding your horses, eventually you're going to lose that battle because they're bigger than you. And so this partnership thing where you need to lock in mentally, psychologically with the horse, you got to do it that way if you're going to hang out with that horse long term, because eventually you're going to lose the fight. You might win some, but eventually you're going to lose because they are bigger than you. So, and I've talked about this so many times here at the ranch when I'm teaching kids how to ride. Anybody can throw a leg over a horse and kick it or pull it and quotation mark make it do something. But what can you do long term? Does the horse enjoy itself? Does it want to be ridden? Does it like to be handled? Does it like its job? Those are the things that mark a true horse person, is if they can connect with their horse at that level. Now you've accomplished something, and in my opinion, that's the sweet spot. That's what is the rewarding part about working with horses, is when it clicks and they understand what you're trying to tell them. It's so rewarding to see it happen in real time. And then I get like double, quadruple rewarded when I see it happen with kids too. And other kids, when they connect the dots and that horse starts understanding what they're telling it, it's pretty special. So Beau's forward motion speed has slowed down pretty significantly. And I have to tell you, I can testify that it's not because he's tired, okay? I know that that might be the first thought you might have is, well, you just got done riding him for 30 minutes or whatever, so he's gonna slow down. That is false because I've rode Beau for 5.5 hours and he didn't slow down. And it was tough riding, it was hard terrain. So he is slowing down because he's choosing to slow down, not because he's too tired. And then sometimes he picks it back up again. I think he relapses and he's like, wait a minute. So, and he's still super sensitive. I don't know if you heard me do that in the microphone. I didn't mean to make a kissy noise. I made a like T sound and he was like, okay, that means go. So, potentially today, but probably a future date, we're gonna be talking to Beau here about that noise. And it's gonna be the same exercise. We're gonna make that noise a lot and then but not really ask him to go with any other cueing. So you can use body position for cueing, for go and to back up and to stop. You can use your legs like to kick, to cue them to go forward, and then you can use an audible. And it doesn't matter what you use. You can use a kissy noise, you can use a clucking, you can use a vocal command. We had a horse one time that we got that would walk, trot, and canter on voice command. Like you would say trot and it would take off and start trotting. So it doesn't matter what you pick as long as it's consistent. That's the big deal with horses. You need to be very consistent. Whatever cueing noises and things you're going to use, it has to be the same thing so it can be reciprocated. You know, you can duplicate. You have to be able to duplicate. And here at the ranch, we have 21 horses, and so we have to be consistent or everything falls apart in our riding program. And not all the horses that we have are used for like everyday kid programming, but most of them are that way. And so you have to have some consistency or it gets very confusing and very hard for kids to understand. So I'm going to try some of these cone patterns here just to see how Beau does. He's walking really still pretty fast. Like if we were in here with like 10 other horses, he'd be totally tailgating for sure. But he definitely has slowed down, so we're seeing some big time progress with his speed. And I hope you guys can see that on the camera, how much he's slowed down. So he's definitely connecting, and I did not ask him one time to slow down. Not even once. There was times where I had to steer him. I had to pick one side of the reins or the other and steer, but I never asked him to slow down. So I think we're making some big progress. We're connecting. I think Beau's understanding what the deal is. I'm going to try to head down by this brown door to see what happens. Also, another point about the whole being tired thing, he hasn't been ridden since last fall, and these horses get fed good. I mean, if you go out and look at our herd, 99% of them almost could be pregnant. They've got big bellies on them. So I feel so good about our progress coming from winter to spring, because usually once their winter fur starts shedding out, that's kind of how you can tell what the real status of your horse's health is, because that winter fur can hide some ribs. So I feel like we did really good. Our hay quality has gotten better. We switched over to an alfalfa pellet, which has helped a handful of our horses quite a bit. So I'm feeling really good about the herd health this spring. It's probably, I would say this is probably the healthiest our herd has been in a few winters, winter-spring transitions. So I'm feeling good about it. Anyway, all that to say, Beau is not tired. He has had pretty much no exercise since fall, and he gets well fed. So yeah, he's lathery. He is real lathery. He's glistening and his sweat is glistening. He's still got a little locomotiving going on with his breathing, it's like that. So we'll see if that might not calm down this session. Like I've said in previous videos, we want to pick some goals that are achievable for your horse, and we want to make sure we end on a positive. And also, like I've said in previous videos, if you blow it and you screw up and you start something that you can't finish or that your horse is just not understanding, then just go back to the last thing that your horse was doing successful and do that a few times and then call it a day. And then come back the next day or the next, a little bit later in the day or whatever you're doing and give it another go. Just take a deep breath. You gotta just keep on trying. And it's pretty important to end on a good note. Right there, I just gave Beau a little bit of calf, I'll call it, of go. Because I was steering him and then he decided he was gonna slow way down and almost stop. So I gave him just a little encouragement, not much. So we're finally hitting that point where Beau is not so concerned about the speed he's going. And he's starting to wonder, what are we doing in here? He's been in here long enough where he's like, okay, it's mirrors, it's a door, it's a new space, but now what? What's the thing we're actually supposed to be doing in here? So we're getting to a good place. Even down by this door, he's gotten way better. I don't have to pull nearly as hard. We're going to try these cones a few more times just for some steering practice. Woo, we haven't tried to stop him the whole time. He is breathing really hard, so he is gotten a good workout for sure. Just gonna walk him on, walk forward. That's the first time I gave him a kissy noise on purpose and actually wanted him to move forward. We're going to practice just a couple more stops, and then I think we're going to call that, I would say, a pretty darn successful ride. Whoa. I'm using a vocal command, whoa, and body position, whoa, to try to get him to stop, and now he wants to keep moving forward. So every time he does forward motion, I'm going to back him up. I'm taking that step back. Back up, bud. There we go. This is why teaching your horse to back up is so fundamental. There's so many reasons why you need your horse to back up. So I'm not going to make him stand here all day, but I do need him to stand at least for a few seconds. If I can get a couple second count with loose reins, I'm going to call that a win and let him walk forward. Back up, bud. And by walking forward, I mean like he has to stand still without any forward motion. Like he doesn't have to actually take a physical step forward. There we go. That was a good solid couple second count. Good boy, Beau. If he even kind of moves forward a little bit, because I can tell you that the next thing after that is a step. So when I'm asking a horse to stop, it has to be no forward motion whatsoever. I have to feel complete deadness underneath me, like no movement at all, just still. Because if he moves a muscle or whatever forward, then I guarantee you, if you don't check that, that's definitely going to turn into a full step. And so that's just part of the process of teaching a horse how to stop and stand. Okay, I want one more good stop, and then we're going to call it good. Whoa. Good boy. Oh, forward motion again, so we're going to take it back. Yep, it's going to take a few tries of this. Back. So when I back him up, we're doing something that's my idea and that he's successful at. So I'm making him do something until he decides to not do the thing he's not supposed to do. Good boy, Beau. I don't know if you guys can hear him breathing. I hope so. I got some microphones coming so you guys can get in on that. All right, thanks for joining me again on another training tune-up video in my quest to make these horses better than they were. I'll catch you next time on the next video.